Wow.
Ready? And welcome to Blowing Up.
Oh, wait, hold on, sorry. Wait. Try again?
Welcome to Blowing Up. No, I don't like that either. Welcome to Blowing Up.
Brother.
Welcome to Blowing Up, the podcast where we talk about all the things that are really relevant to your life, meaning anything that is relevant for more than 1 second and then ends after maybe 10 seconds. Like apps and stuff. I'm on this podcast. My name's Kristen.
I'm on this podcast. My name is Nathan.
And today we have extra special guest, Brianne.
Hello.
Yay! So I have no idea what we're talking about today. I'm coming in blind. And Nathan knows, I think, right?
I know, and so does Brianne. And
know.
you kind of
What?
know.
Ooh, okay.
But
All
you
right,
just
I feel
don't
a
know
little
that
better.
you know.
Okay.
That you know. That you know. That you know. That you know.
Ooh.
So what we're talking about today is called turtlecalls.com. And it's a site where for $2 they'll call anyone you want and pretend to be a turtle for up to 2 minutes. And
Do I know about this because you did it to me?
yeah.
Oh, I've been confused for like over a week about that phone call.
Yeah, I did one of these for both of you, actually. And I did it about 4 weeks ago, and it didn't come out until... When did it happen to you?
It was like last Tuesday or something.
Right.
Yeah, mine was last Tuesday.
Yeah, it was the same day.
Weird.
Yeah. So, you both didn't know that what happened because you both didn't answer your GD telephones.
We're modern, intelligent women. We don't answer strange numbers.
Absolutely not. Let them leave a message. Listen to it later.
Well, I warned, I didn't say anything to you. I tried to pick good times with you, and then I told you to answer a call if you got one, but it was like...
You told me that?
Yeah, but it was like weeks before.
Why? In what way does that not sound creepy? Like, oh, answer your phone if you get a phone call.
I was like, I think I played dumb, like, oh, this thing, if you get a call that you don't know, you should answer it. It's this weird thing.
Oh, see, I don't listen to most of what you say, so...
It brings you back into the
thing.
Matrix.
Yeah. So anyway, I cheaped out and just did the $2 one, which is why they only called you once and then left you confusing voicemails. But what you do is you pay, and then you fill out this form, and it says you go with the person you want to call, and your name, and where they live, and then you put some things they can talk about, and that's really important. Putting your name and putting those things is really important because that's how they keep people on the phone without getting them hang up, because they're like, oh, I think I met you at a party, and they'll say, Nathan told me, or whatever.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so for yours I put to talk about water polo, and for Brianne's I said to talk about this excellent game of putt-putt golf that she played.
Oh, you told me about that game of putt golf.
Oh, yeah, where I was
Where you were
killing it.
killing it.
It's legendary.
Yeah.
So much so that a stranger called you to talk about it.
Yeah.
Wait, is this a legitimate stranger? Or is this like a robot that called us?
It's a stranger.
No.
I don't know him.
This is creepier than when I actually listened to the voicemail and thought about all the potential things that it could have been.
No, it's not. It's fine.
I actually had no idea mine was talking about putt-putt. I couldn't understand him very well. I could tell it was some sort of game. I thought I hurt someone.
This isn't a game.
Mine is still on my voicemail, so I could play it for us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, great, because we're going to play Brianne's real quick. I think I just realized that you're not going to be able to hear it, though.
Oh.
So...
Can we pause it and then go back and listen to it?
Here. I know what to do. Okay, so we got the headphones all hooked
Are we
up,
all in here?
and now we're
Okay.
going to listen to Brianne's turtle call.
There we go.
Turtle.
Brianne, what's going on? This is a turtle. Hey, look, I just wanted to tell you again, it's okay about what happened at the putt-putt game a few weeks ago. I mean, the ball hit me when I meant one green. I was just strolling across. Really, I know better. I shouldn't be doing that. So when it hit me, I screamed, and I was like, no, my shell. I mean, I'm just being a little dramatic, and I'm sorry about that. The fact of the matter is I watched the rest of your game. It was stupendous. You were excellent. I was amazed. And I felt bad that our incidents maybe sullied it for you. So I just wanted to tell you, you can kind of erase the trauma I went through from your memory. Remember that game as it happened, which was a beautiful experience. Anyway, if you want to give me a call back, I'll be here in my tank for a couple hours. If you lost my number, it's at turtlecalls.com or facebook.com/turtlecalls.
Okay.
That was bizarre and amazing.
I could hear that a lot better this time when we listened than
Back on the microphone.
than from the speakerphone on my phone. So I couldn't tell what it was talking when it
sounded like you played a game of putt-putt and you hit him or something with your ball, and he's traumatized from the experience, but you shouldn't feel bad about it. That's what I gathered.
Yeah, he said he overreacted and said, my shell, but he was just being dramatic. And he wanted you to feel better about it because you played a good game.
Aww. You unknowingly traumatized a turtle, and then he called you.
Well, if you've ever been to putt-putt, I think there is a turtle there.
And if you hit a turtle, you'd be doing worse.
Yeah.
In most cases.
That's crazy. So this is a person in his living room or just in bed calling random people that tell them to call him.
Oh, I know that. It's a guy named Brian Spaeth, and he said that a friend of his conceived the idea in 1961, and then he launched it in 2010 and started doing it daily in 2011.
Wow.
So he does it a lot.
He started in 2001. Is that what you said?
2010.
Oh, I heard 2001 for some reason.
Oh, maybe
That's
I
what
said
you
that.
said. You went dyslexic for a second.
Oh. 2010.
But his friend conceived the idea in 1961, Turtle Calls.
Yeah, and that was
Back
way longer than 9 months.
people were doing a lot of psychedelics.
Oh, yeah.
What if we just pretend like we're turtles and we call people like we're turtles? But then they had to wait for the internet to happen for this to be a decent idea.
It's true. It would have been really hard to spread around. You'd have to advertise a lot.
It would have been as slow as a turtle. Sorry.
They, like a lot of other things we talk about, it's kind of when you get it, that's when you learn about it. So it should theoretically spread virally.
Like mystery potato.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you find out about it because you got one. Right?
I kind of want to listen to mine now.
Well, so what happened when we got this one, Brianne and I were sharing a bedroom at the time, and so she was listening to it in the morning, and she listened to it on her speakerphone on her GD Windows phone, the model POS, and you couldn't understand it at all. I could hear that was that guy's voice, but I couldn't understand anything he said.
Yeah.
Which now I know was not his fault because we could hear it pretty well when it's plugged in.
And I was legitimately confused because there was a voicemail from someone that neither one of us knew, and for some reason Nathan was very frustrated.
Yeah.
Who's calling my girlfriend?
I was grumpy because it was early and because the call didn't go through. And although the voicemail is nice and personalized, it's so much better when the person answers because they actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
And you can see on YouTube there's a lot of videos of it going splendidly. They're probably like the best of,
what?
But still.
You're a turtle? What?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
So let's listen to Kristen's real quick.
Okay, all right. This is gonna.
And then you can tell us your story. It's going to take a few minutes. So now I'm going to make up a poem.
All right, I'm entering my password.
About a car that went far.
Is
That's
it
all I
like
got.
the rabbit and the hare? I mean, the turtle and the hare? Oh, wait, I think this is it.
Please enter your password.
Okay, it should start.
message sent Tuesday, March 29 at 9:40 a.m. Mountain Time.
Kristen, what's going on? This is Ted Cruz. Hey, look, I was hoping to show up to water polo practice today. Doesn't even know if we have practice today, but I'd really like to come because I really think it could be a great addition to the team. I just thought I'm a natural aquatic creature. I'm fast. I can hold my breath forever under there. And also, I'm not the best ball handler, too. Anyway, give me a call back when you can. I'll be here in my tank for a few hours. If you lost my number, it's at turtlecalls.com or facebook.com/turtlecalls.
End of message. To delete this message.
That's great. I definitely didn't understand it the first time. And it was still kind of jumbled, but I think I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
And mostly he was telling me that I was really good at water polo, which is true. So
How did he know?
how did he know?
Secret admirer.
But when I got the phone call, I was like, is this a boy from the team? Like, I don't talk to boys on the team. Like, why do they know that I play water polo? Also, I'm not going to practice tonight. And now I feel bad for not going to practice. That's so funny.
You didn't go to practice to get out of it?
What?
You didn't go to practice to get out of running into somebody?
No, not because of the phone call.
Oh,
just
okay.
because I already decided not to go.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that is ultra terrifying and awesome.
So, at a recent party, Brianne had fleshed out that you got that call, but didn't want to tell you what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be material for this podcast. So I was like backing
I
away.
remember that, yeah.
I was backing away from the subject really carefully.
Well, and then Nathan texted me at one point. He was like, hey, did you get a creepy phone call recently? And I was like, yeah, totally. Because it was about water polo, and Brianne and I are on the same water polo team. So I was like, did Brianne get the same phone call? Like, is this a weird thing? Or who's on our team that has the same thing in common? I didn't know that she got a separate phone call about something completely different. I just thought it was oh my God, we're all being
didn't know mine
trolled on
was
the water
about
polo
that.
team.
It wasn't completely different.
I was under the impression from mine that I hurt someone in a blind rage or something.
Oh.
Blind putt-putt rage.
I couldn't understand what he was saying, and I was trying to retrace. Did I rear end someone, or do I have the virus? What's going on? Am I a werewolf?
Man, I wonder what would have happened if I had answered that phone call.
Yeah.
Because he must just get a lot of people answering and being really confused, and often probably pretty terrified.
A lot of times I think they just think it is the person. Well, that's what I gathered from the thing. They just think it's their friend doing a voice. Or definitely someone that knows their friend.
That's not what I thought at all.
This reminds me. Do you guys remember do you remember the prank phone call that was all popular back when LimeWire was a thing, where it was some guy saying you kicked my dog?
Kick my dog.
Do you remember that?
No.
I do. I remember that. Yeah.
It was just some guy berating someone because he claimed that he saw him kick his dog, and he kept him on the phone for 10 minutes. And it's a really funny phone call, and that's kind of what this reminds me of.
It was a really funny one where someone calls a hardware store and just says butt plugs and doesn't say anything else. And they're like spark plugs. It's butt plugs. Butt plugs, like that. I think maybe it's a Walmart or something, because he gets transferred around to a lot of different apartments. Keeps just doing the same thing.
That's amazing. My brother is really into. I think there's a lot of prank call apps on the internet, and my brother's really into calling me with most of them. And one time he convinced, there was this really creepy person, and I think it was supposed to be Chuck Norris or something, and he I was living in Maine at the time, and my family lives here in New Mexico, and it made me terrified that my family was under attack, and it ended up not being funny at all because it was super convincing and terrifying. Yeah.
Well, that might be a theme that maybe they're not as funny as people think.
I think that as on the other side of a prank call, it's not as funny. Coming from a sister who's gotten a lot of these.
Does he use those soundboard things? Is that what?
There's different ones, and I've gotten every single one.
Well, there was one that Samuel Jackson would call you when
Yeah.
Snakes on a Plane was coming out.
And I got that one.
And that was just pre-recorded, though. This one's fun because it's got a human touch.
It does. That's really cool that there's actually somebody on the other side calling you.
Yeah. So anyway, get into the details. So what is you can pay $2 or $5 or $10 or $20. And if you pay $2, they call you one time. And if you don't answer, they leave you a voicemail. A nice voicemail. It says. For number 5, it's the exact same thing for $5, except the turtle will pretend to be Don Cheadle. But when I did this a couple weeks ago, that was not the case. There was just a box you could check if you wanted the turtle to pretend to be Don Cheadle. And I've heard some of the recordings for that, and he doesn't do a different voice or anything. He just says he's Don Cheadle.
And it's true.
And it's,
How many people know who Don Cheadle is?
yeah, I know. They have to say it on there. He's like, he's from Hotel Rwanda.
And the new Miles Davis movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Iron Man 2 and 3.
He had to show me who that was. I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, so he pretends to be Don Cheadle. That one's cool, but if you don't know who Don Cheadle is, which a lot of people don't, then he's also not pretending to be a turtle. Even though it's supposed to be the turtle pretending to be Don Cheadle, he doesn't drop any hints that he's also a turtle.
That is bizarre.
So for $10, he will call 3 different times, and if he gets through, he'll send you a recording of the conversation. The person who ordered it.
Oh.
So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because what if, like, some person is, like, doing this and you don't want them to hear your conversation, and then they get sent a recording of your conversation and you're not... It's non-consensual.
Yeah, that's true. That does get into some gray areas.
Yeah, what if you, like,
Maybe
fart on the phone or something? And
maybe
then they get
he
a recording of that.
says that he's going to send it.
What if he
Who knows?
He gets verbal consent.
What if he calls you while you're having an affair? And you're
Ted Cruz.
yeah, like and you're running for political office, and a
Yeah.
turtle calls you.
And you're like, oh, well, I'm just with my mistress right now.
Yeah.
Like, now's not the time to talk. Don't tell my wife.
Yeah.
Your
No,
wife
what if you
said
do it
no.
with your like significant other and you can hear some other person in the background being like, "Come to bed," or "Come to bed," depending on their voice.
Yeah.
And for $20, that's the ultimate. And you get to schedule the exact time. So you could schedule it to go off when you're with them. It says while you're getting frozen yogurt, and then you could be like, I should answer it. Answer it. And they'll be like, no, it's nothing. Anyway, so those are the 4 options. And, it's not as hypothetical to talk about it since we've lived through it.
I like that, though.
We're like
But
veterans.
what if we had answered?
I know. That would have been great. And I wanted to do this on the podcast. I thought actually it might have happened before the last one, but it didn't. I knew that would have been wishful thinking.
You should have paid $20 and had them call us while we were doing the podcast.
Oh. But you know what I prefer? $20. But anyway,
Fair.
but once it didn't work, I was disheartened because I got emails saying that both of yours were not answered.
Oh.
But also, if I tried to do it again, I would have to wait another 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, what
So it
is
wasn't like I
that,
could just pay $2 more.
Because, it's like they're...
He's probably backlogged.
Well, that's good, because it's blown up.
Going up.
Blowing up.
You're good.
But, like, you said that it was, like, about 4 weeks between when you, like, scheduled this phone call, or not scheduled, or paid for it, and then it happened. And, like, Brianne's putt-putt game of glory was 4 weeks ago. Like, maybe she's played other games in the meantime, or something, and she's, like, already forgotten about how awesome that putt-putt game was.
Yeah, my
She
putt-putt career peaked.
Yeah, also, she's never going to do better than that.
Yeah.
So that would be
So
the
she'll
good one.
never forget 4 weeks later, even.
Well, I mean, I'll say it took long enough that at some point I was like, maybe they're not going to call anyone.
That would be an especially fun podcast to talk about how it just ripped you off.
Whenever I see something that seems kind of sketchy like that, I usually trust it if they accept PayPal, because PayPal has customer
that's true.
service.
That's true.
So, but it definitely took long enough that I kind of stopped thinking about it. And
Maybe that's more fun for you, though, because you have, like, given them $2, and then you're waiting for a phone call, and then eventually you just give up, and then it happens, and then it's fun.
it wasn't fun for me at all, but this is kind of fun. Talking about it. Anyway, one of the things is, it's not really a prank thing. It's supposed to be, on the frequently asked questions, it says, is this a prank? And it says, quote, no, it is a friendship call, and it is meant to make a smile happen and not an aggravated face.
Oh, that's not how it worked for me. I was just confused, and then I felt bad for not going to water polo, and then I was like, who did that?
Yeah, okay.
I just thought someone had the wrong number, which happens a lot on my phone.
One thing first off, the big problem with is you didn't even understand yours until today, and you
Mine
didn't
either,
fully
really.
understand yours.
Yeah.
So that's a big issue.
Whoever this guy is needs to make his voice quality a little bit higher.
He might need a better microphone. Like,
Ooh.
we have better
We
microphones
have
now,
them. Mine's
except for Brianne's.
Hey,
Her
Howdy.
microphone's fine.
It's fine, but it's like she's like a foot away. No,
usually I sound like Aretha Franklin.
try to say goodbye.
That's-
I know it's Macy Gray. It's important to quote Macy Gray every day.
No.
No, I was just finishing my poem.
About fast cars. Yes.
It's only 2 stanzas. 2 couplets. Rhyming couplets. Anyway, surprising conclusion to the Turtle Odyssey is that now, well, there's a
That
version.
he's actually a turtle.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
There's a version of the Call for Kids, which is nice. Guessing he doesn't drop as many F-bombs. No, he seems pretty nice anyway.
kids,
But-
I'm a turtle.
He just talks about child things. Like, homework and recess and Lunchables.com. Anyway, and then in 2012, they started an online cartoon and a teaching tool for kids.
Oh. To make prank phone calls? Like, that's the teaching tool? Is like, this is how you creep out friends?
I don't know. It looks like it's a CGI
Pretending
cartoon.
to be a turtle.
I don't know.
You get like random phone calls that quiz you on subjects. Like, which one is the preposition?
I like that.
That,
I like
yeah,
that
that's
one.
good.
Yeah. Like Schoolhouse Rock, but in phone call form.
But that's not going to put a smile on their face.
Schoolhouse Rock puts a smile on everybody's face.
Well, maybe if he says it rhyming.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
That's where they hire Macy Gray.
or me. I'm a poet laureate.
You wish.
I was going to start a new poem, but nothing rhymes with laureate.
DeLorean?
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Back to the Future.
it's a soft rhyme, but I'll accept it.
Yeah.
Sew me up with a suture. That's all I got.
I think so. I think he's probably making good money doing this.
Okay, so if his friend had this idea in 1961,
I feel like that might be made up, but yeah.
that part is just bizarre to me, I think. Like, how old is this person that's making these phone calls? Like, is this all he does all day? Just call strangers?
I don't.
Like, what is his life like?
He probably
Like,
has
I have this image in my head of this person, and I don't get it.
Describe him.
Doesn't leave his house and loves to pretend to be a turtle, and probably has a lot of turtle paraphernalia in his house, and like justifies it with his 1961 friend story, but just loves turtles and wants to call and talk to strangers about turtles because he's like socially inept and can't have real people in his life. Is that bad?
Does he wear Crocs?
Anything amphibian-esque?
He has erectile dysfunction. That was a punchline of a joke I saw today. Well, I think he's probably just a nice guy. He is the writer, producer, and author of the Super Airplane. He's a
Of the
writer and
airplane
producer,
movies?
and he's an author of the Super Airplane novel.
Which we've all read.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think an underlying tone for blowing up is that I'm jealous of these people with really great business ideas where they just get to be in their house and do nothing and make money.
This guy's making, at minimum, $1 an hour. So think about... I've just gone to graduate school, and I will be lucky to make $1 an hour when I'm working. This
Wait,
guy
are you
just
saying $1 a minute?
$1 a minute. Sorry,
Okay, I was like, what?
because gets a 2-minute phone call for $2.
Yeah.
3 tries, but that's still.
I
only
thought that $1 an hour sounded better for grad students. That
Oh.
sounds about right. I just did that.
I'm a misspeaking today. Squeeze me. Yeah, so I mean, he's like, it's a life. I will say that on the website, it's not clear that one person will be calling. It says we will call him in our turtle voice, but everyone I've heard sounds like the same guy. But, I mean, I guess anyone could do that voice. They'd have to.
Well, you have a sample size of 2.
No, I've seen videos on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I was stoked that it seemed like the same guy. It's the same voice.
Huh.
I won't say it's the same person, but it is the same turtle voice. You know how turtles talk. That's turtle. I think that's one of like the funniest absurdities of it.
Is that it's a turtle?
It's like that there's like this weird voice that just sounds like a foreign guy, but it's a turtle.
Yeah. Well, and like when it did reference, he was like, "I'll just be chilling here in my tank."
Yeah. He said that in both of them, so maybe that's his comment.
That's his like sign off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a military man.
He's actually like in
In
Afghanistan or something.
Yeah.
Just cruising around with his headset calling people.
Yeah. On one of them, somebody said, they're like, who is this? He's like, it's a turtle. And they're like, you're a turtle man? And he's like, not a man, just a turtle. And there's one where they sing Britney Spears. I highly recommend the videos. They're really fun.
Oh, that's great. I wonder what he's doing right now. Like, maybe he's calling somebody. Maybe he's making dinner. I don't know what turtles eat for dinner.
Leafs.
Did anybody try calling the number back? Probably goes to nothing.
You did.
Did I? Yeah.
And it did go.
Okay.
Nothing.
Oh, boo.
Aw.
You have to go to turtle.com.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Don't go to tushy.com.
Turtlecalls.com.
Turtle call. Okay.
Turtle is this
Turtle.com.
crazy
Where-
sex
I'm gonna look that
website.
up.
And I think the name of the website is kind of misleading. Like, we were talking to our other friend about this. He thought for sure it was going to be some, like, turtle mating whistle.
Yeah, like duck calls.
Yeah. Which would also be funny. I don't know what turtles sound like, but, like, tortoises...
Sounds like that guy. Oh. Yeah, they
Tortoises make this ungodly noise when they're making
Isn't it something
love.
like that?
It's
Oh.
it's otherworldly.
Turtle.com is extremely boring. Never go there.
Okay.
Never do that.
That was our...
I had really high hopes, and I'm really disappointed, so nobody should do that.
That was a segment we like to call Journalist from the Web. Internet sleuth. So, what do you think about this in general? Is this a good idea? Glad this is in the world?
No.
I like it. I think it could. I don't know. I could see it being something like my friends would have done in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I did get the snakes on the plane call and like those little soundboard ones, and this would be like more fun version.
It's a big problem that people don't answer their phones anymore.
Yeah.
But unlike some overpriced things we talk about, looking at you, Mystery Potato, it's just $2.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back on your it's a big problem. People don't answer their phones anymore. The reason we don't answer our phones is because of all of the years of prank phone calls we've gotten.
I'm not saying it's a problem in general. I'm just saying it's a problem for this service. I don't answer my phone either.
Because of the prank phone calls.
No, that's
Which Brianne
that's
and
not
I
why.
successfully screened for.
That's not why I don't answer my phone.
I don't-
It's because
it has to do with shampoo.
if you don't know who's calling, why would you want to talk to them? And
Yeah.
if it's important to leave a message. That's my philosophy. And in this case, they leave a message, but it's too late.
You're right. You can't. Unless it was like the $5 or the $20 one. But the $5 one, they're Don Cheadle, which would make me really confused.
If it's the $10 one, they call 3 times. But that still doesn't... I've ignored the same number multiple times.
But if the first time they answered, they left you a voicemail, the second time you'd be intrigued enough by the stranger and the confusingness of their voicemail to answer.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I would have answered the same phone number had it called again because I was so confused by who it was.
We really had a fidelity issue as well. I mean, even though this was very disappointing, I like the thing. I've come back around to it. I was going to be a lot more negative, except once we plugged in Brienne's and you found out you actually could hear it under the right circumstances, I wasn't as mad at the turtle.
We get to redirect all our anger back toward Windows Phone. They're terrible.
I'm gonna
Speakerphone in general just is not easy to hear.
I'm gonna change my answer about imagining what this guy is. He's a turtle. That's how I like to imagine it. He
is a turtle.
He
that
uses
sometimes pretends to be Don Cheadle.
Yeah, he uses a landline phone, and he bumps it off with his little head, and then he talks right into the mouthpiece, but he has to run over to, and that's why it's muffled.
He can't run, though, very fast.
Well, slow and steady wins the race, I think you'll find.
Run is a relative term.
He's faster than his other turtle friends.
Yeah. And he dials the rotary phone with his flat feet, and that takes forever, and that's why it's so hard for him.
And he's exhausted by the time he's gotten to your voicemail.
Yeah. And he's just chilling in the tank.
I'm just chilling in my tank. But somehow he has a laptop and Wi-Fi inside of his tank. Which is, I mean, it's a terrarium.
He probably has a secretary.
That's fair.
The secretary handles the web. Oh, I forgot their name.
And they have webbed
but
feet. They're a frog.
Yeah. There's some lady mans the customer service you email. I can't recall her name, but...
I like the phrase "some lady mans."
Hey, gender's over.
We're beyond gender.
You can have
that.
a lady man's doing your customer service.
I'm a lady and I man a lot of things.
Wait, is the term man sexist? It is. It implies a male occupation.
Yeah.
Like,
interesting.
Man this desk, secretary. Right?
Yeah.
Or like, man the nursing station. Or
Nurse.
Or man the house, housewife.
That's my favorite.
Totally inappropriate.
I guess we have to rule out that verb now.
Man the drink cart, stewardess.
I like it.
I feel like a lot of times we're able to find more little avenues to go down to talk about. We're really just playing with the semantics at this point.
That's all I want to ever play with.
Yeah.
What would be to stop your just like doing it on your own, like imitating that guy and prank calling
Because
your friends?
the whole thing with a lot of these things is that it has to come from like a mystery phone number or like an anonymous address so that you can't track the person who did it in the first place.
And it's got to come from a place of love, not cynically ripping off Turtle Calls guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I just got like a lot of those kicked my dog calls after that thing was famous.
Well, yeah. It's the weird thing is that the Don Cheadle thing, that's not evolved. I mean, I don't know when the Don Cheadle thing started, but there are no other people.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is really funny. That's
He's
like one of the most random celebrities to
Yeah.
play.
He's exactly like the level of celebrity that's funny, and it's super funny that he only does that voice. Don Cheadle doesn't sound like that turtle, right?
No.
You know, what would be a funny celebrity to say you're doing is like Sam Rockwell.
I don't know who that is.
Right.
The guy from Moon and
Yeah, Ninja Turtles.
he's in Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would be more
When he's
funny
really young.
because then it would be a turtle.
Oh. Well, he wasn't a turtle. He was just a guy selling
Damn
cigarettes.
it.
I have this belief, and I feel like I've thought this for a very long time, is that out of all the animals, it's like the easiest to picture anyone you know as a turtle. Try it sometime when you're bored.
Really?
Like, think about it. Not everybody looks like a giraffe or like a lion or whatever, but everybody you can really easily picture as a turtle. And I think Don Cheadle, especially.
That's true, because he's got kind of like he seems like his head's a little small for his shoulders. not his head's small for his body, but his
ratio is all that matters.
Yeah, I could see that. Plus, he's bald. That probably helps.
Yeah.
Or
He's bald?
I mean, right?
I don't think he's bald. He just has really short hair. I don't know. We'll have to Google it.
Actually, I think you're right. I don't think
Yeah.
he is bald.
Lately, I've been taking to because I really like turtlenecks in general. And so when people make me uncomfortable, I just take the turtleneck and put my head in it, and I go, turtle, instead of responding. And it's really effective. People are like, this is an uncomfortable question that you don't want to answer. And I'm like, turtle.
You should do that on the phone.
But you can't use both hands to pull your turtleneck above your face.
Oh, you have to put it on a speakerphone, I guess.
Turtle. Or FaceTime maybe would be more appropriate for that.
That's true. Well, the whole point is that they can't see
works,
you
though.
doing the other part. You just get more muffled.
Makes me feel safe, though. But do turtles actually do that? Can we,
What? Stick
Curl
their
up
heads
in
in?
there.
You know, like in the cartoons, they put their head in their shell.
Yeah.
Do they actually do that?
Yeah.
They do it as much as they can, but they can't. Like their body is attached to the shell, so they don't have unlimited.
Is it when they're having an uncomfortable conversation, or when
Yeah,
they're
it's-
threatened by predators?
It's actually when you accuse them of things.
Or if you get
okay.
like too heavy into politics,
Yeah.
they.
If you write a National Enquirer story about them having 5 mistresses, a lot of times they'll.
Ted Cruz is especially a turtle.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get this episode out so that we can get all this sweet Ted Cruz action. And because by the time you hear this, he's probably not even a candidate anymore.
Or the president.
Well, that would be a surprise, considering it will be out in April.
Hopefully.
Yeah, what if that all backfires and they're like, we have to give him the presidency? How do you get all these ladies?
I think.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
The sexier the president, the better,
Yeah.
is what I always said.
It's like that Elvis argument, like 100,000 fans can't be wrong. It's like 5 women can't be wrong.
Hell yeah. Obviously, he's a stud. I might only vote for presidents based on how attractive they are, and I've only ever voted for one president, so.
And
Go on.
he's not attractive.
Going
Really?
back to my everyone looks like
Bernie
a turtle
Sanders is
theory.
super hot, shut up.
No,
Going
we're talking
back,
about Ted Cruz.
going back to my everyone
Right?
looks like a turtle
no,
theory.
yeah, you're right. That's, okay.
He totally does.
Who?
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, he's a turtle.
I think it's like a compliment. Like he would be lucky to be a turtle.
He's sub-turtle, do you think?
You could definitely see Larry David as a turtle.
Oh yeah.
Like more so than Bernie Sanders, even though they look similar.
Larry David might actually be a turtle.
Yeah, he's got that. He's got the upper
And-
lip and the.
And probably the same sense of humor that a turtle would have, right? Just really dry, like wait for it to land.
But he's like
humor.
manic in his delivery.
Oh.
I guess it would be so funny to see a turtle. Just like if a turtle became a person, that it would just talk super fast.
And did stand up.
Yeah. Or fight crime.
As a ninja trained by a rat in the sewers of New York.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up loving Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But turtles are way funnier when they're really not a
Like me.
ninja.
Like
yeah.
like Filbert in Rocco's Modern Life.
That's a great,
Yeah!
great turtle.
With, like, glasses. And he's like, oh my god,
turn,
my allergies.
turn the page. Wash your hands.
Like the guy that called me on the phone who is actually a turtle and not just a weirdo. Or
Yeah.
maybe a weirdo pretending to be a turtle.
Well, good point. I mean, that is kind of the whole idea of Ninja Turtles. It's supposed to be kind of a parody. They're like, what's the slowest thing we could think of?
Oh, that's true.
And then they're like, what if they were fighting crime?
They did a great job.
Fantastic job. Great job. Okay.
Fantastic podcast. Great job.
Blowing up. But seriously, I think we're done here.
Just, if a turtle calls you, you should answer.
Yeah.
Because if you just get a voicemail and you're wondering who it is, you're going to be creeped out.
Yeah, this is a positive thing. So anytime you get any call from now on, just open your heart, pick up a hitchhiker. It could be a turtle. And never fear again. Leave your door unlocked. Who knows who's going to come in? Might be Santa Claus.
Wait, on that note, so whenever I do get a phone call that is a number that I don't recognize and I answer it, usually it's somebody with the wrong number, right?
Or someone selling something.
That one sucks. But I put my phone on the do not call list so it doesn't happen that much.
Oh, nice.
So if I answer it and it's the wrong phone number, maybe in the future I should just be like, but how's your day going? And what are you wearing? Just kidding, not that part. But my friend Irviv from Blowing Up was
Blowing Up.
the best thing, or she was saw this thing that was everybody could be a hero, and then it was this little comic, and it was this person on the street that was hey, you look great today, and the other person was thanks, and so maybe you can answer your phone and be hey, I'm sorry you got the wrong phone number, but how's your day? What's your life like?
Be like, hey.
Don't say you look great today.
Yeah.
You look great today.
Hey, nice shorts.
But my mom always gets offended when you say you look great today because it implies that most days you don't look good.
Oh, I guess that is the cynical
So
way to look
she's
at that.
really, yeah.
If you want to be defensive about it.
That's, yeah.
Nice shirt. What are you saying? My pants are bullshit?
What about my shoes?
Compliment every single thing I'm wearing and then me personally because I'm not materialistic.
Exactly.
It's about what's on the inside. Compliment my liver.
Your liver looks great today for the first time ever.
It looks great today. We probably shouldn't have taken it out of you. We could just put this one back in. We didn't have a transplant anyway.
On that note, turtles don't have livers, so they're safe.
They don't?
Really?
I don't know. I just made that up. They probably do.
That's one of those facts you could just throw out there and say, like dogs can't look up or lobsters never die.
Yeah.
Turtles don't have livers. You heard it here first.
Next, it'll be on a Snapple.
Do Snapples still exist?
Oh, yeah. My grandma, every time I go to my grandma's house, she offers me a Snapple from the fridge. It's nice.
Snapple from the fridge.
I have a voicemail from my grandma if you want to hear that.
Once they start putting Snapple in those Coke Freestyle machines, we'll really be somewhere as a society.
What?
Never mind.
Like the ones with the buttons?
Yeah.
Nobody wants Snapple as a fountain drink.
I don't know. I do.
No, you don't.
I don't. You're right.
You don't.
I'm only in it for the bottle caps. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it could just say the fact on the screen.
When do you think they'll make a machine like that for mixed drinks?
Oh. Never.
Damn it. And then they put like a couple olives in your martini at the end?
So what about if it was just the mixers and then you still had to add booze to it?
Okay, that'd be fine. As long as
that could work, I guess.
they still put a cherry.
You know, we already don't have cashiers because robots are doing that job, and now you want to take cocktail shakers out of the hands of our fine bartenders.
Okay, you're right. But maybe someday they can get the robots to pay us for the jobs that they stole.
Yeah.
No?
I mean, with what?
Bitcoins.
Yep.
Okay, well,
I think we went off topic.
we were going to do 2 little episodes, but then we thought, let's just do 1 short episode. But then we did a really long episode with no content.
You're welcome,
So everybody
audience.
wins.
You just wasted this amount of time.
So I recommend turtle calls. It sounds like Kristen does not recommend turtle calls. It might
Nope.
give someone a phone. What about you?
I say answer your phone unless you're in a lot of debt. And
That's true.
and just take whatever the phone gives you.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Yeah. You got to see the turtle shell is half full.
Aww.
Yeah.
Still dead, though. Require a whole turtle, at least. At minimum, you could be missing a few feet.
I'm a turtle.
Well, thanks. This is a turtle. Thanks for listening.
This is a turtle. Cowabunga.
I don't even want it. Hey, no. You're not getting that out of me.
Okay, well, I'll just be hanging in my tank for another couple hours.
Please like us on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, give us a...
An Austrian turtle.
I'm like, this is weird, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But that's the voice. What if that's just his regular voice?
Oh. Does that make this culturally insensitive?
Everything.
No, of course not. Nothing does. There are no rules. Blowing up.
Blowing up.
Blowing up.